Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Brad, today you want to talk about a 5-step system to correct poor posture and pain. One of us is exhibiting poor posture, and one of us is not.
Exactly, Bob. Lonnie caught us off guard on the start of that one, huh?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so this is going to give you a system on how to correct your posture and maintain it the rest of your life, and it will be wonderful for you and will work. But Bob, there's some people out there.
Oh yeah, I got to sit up straight.
See
Yeah, okay, now I can see him. I couldn't see him before. If you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy and fit and pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, subscription buttons over here somewhere.
It's usually right down there is where I see it.
We are on the Facebook, so if you could head over there and make sure you like us.
I like the Facebook, Bob.
Yeah, and make sure you like us.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go, Brad.
Okay, so posture is just one of those things that, you know,
it's a constant battle.
It's an epidemic, Bob.
Yeah, it is.
And actually it is. You see, people grow up now. There's no talk in school about posture, at least not that I'm aware of, or the ones that I do, or parents. I mean, it's really important to get your kids to sit upright because we're looking at these cell phones or watching TV. Everything promotes this.
iPads, laptops,
and
everything.
there's no doubt about it. This posture is going to cause problems.
You will get pain.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you.
If it's not in your neck or your shoulders, it's going to be in your arm. Your breathing is restricted. Your shoulder mechanics are thrown off. It will affect you eventually. So let's get after it and go right away. First of all, how do you know if you got bad posture?
So this is part of the system now.
Yeah, that's a question,
Okay.
Bob.
All right. We're going to show you how to determine whether or not you have bad
so
posture.
Bob was sitting there before, slouched over. Now, it might be that he's slouched over like this because his body's tightened up over the years and he cannot even get straight, or if he thinks about it and he gets up tall, he can. So we're going to find out for sure straight, and the way to do it is go up against a straight surface like the wall. So Bob, why don't you come over? This takes 2 people, by the way. So the first thing you do is get your sacrum, your buttocks, right up against the wall, okay? And then the next thing, why don't you bring your heels up closer to the wall? You don't have to touch them. I had one person I was doing this with in the clinic, and he would touch his heels.
You fall off?
He would fall forward because he was so tight.
Yeah.
So you have to do this within reason. And then, now, Bob, go ahead and flatten up. See if you can touch your shoulders against the wall and your head. If everything touches, you know you have the available range of motion for good posture. But Bob, pretend that you're flexed up, and we've, you know, as therapists, we see this quite a bit. And look at the gap here. He's unable to get his head back to the wall. His shoulders will not flatten. So take your wooden rule you use for your children, or you used when you were a child, and he's got 4-inch gap right there between the back of his head and the wall. And you have to pick out one point on the shoulder. I'm going to go right here. And this, you know, that's by the acromion, but if you don't know your anatomy that well, if you're not a therapist, pick out a point that you can do consistently again. In here, we got 6 inches. Write those down on the calendar, that the date that you measured it. The head is 4 inches, the shoulder is 6 inches. And then also you might want to note how far the heels are from the floor. Measure that as well. And here we've got 3 inches down there. So we know where Bob is now, and now it's time to go to work and let's correct this. And we'll come back in 2 weeks, remeasure, and see what kind of progress we made, because we want to have contact on all of them if possible. All right, Bob, what do you say?
I say let's take step number 2 now.
Okay. We're going to start from the head. I mean, you could do this different order, but we're going to start with the head. Bob, show them the gold standard. Yep.
So we're starting, you know, a lot of people are forward like this. This is the common thing you're going to see. So all we're going to do is we're backing the head up. It's like you're backing a truck up. And now you're not going down like this, and you're not going up like this.
Right.
You're going straight back. It's like someone was taking a pie and throwing it in your face, and you're just going to back up, or someone who's...
Or you could have your wife or husband and throw a pie in your face just to get the right motion.
Or if someone unattractive is going to try to kiss you,
yeah,
you bring your head back. So these are chin tucks. And what's good about these, it's starting to stretch the neck up in here, but it's also a reminder of where your posture is supposed to be. So by doing these throughout the day, I mean, and you literally can do these every half hour, Brad, if you want. And then even sometimes you can actually even do a little overpressure.
Sure.
You can take your hand like this and push it back like this, or you put your fingers back like this, and get a little stretch that way.
One big reminder, when you're doing that, make sure you're up as tall as you can and have good posture all the way.
Yeah, my shoulders before, I wasn't working on those yet. I was just starting the neck.
Yep.
So,
but even when you're doing the neck,
yeah.
do this as best as that you can. If you're in an upright, firm chair, lean back in that so it gives you some guidance so you know you're as tall as you can be. Okay, and then should we work on the shoulders?
Sure.
Okay. So if the shoulders are tight and they're rounded forward, oftentimes the muscles in the front have tightened up over the years, and if we need to stretch those out. The good news is there's a lot of soft tissue muscles, and it can be stretched.
Right.
So again, we don't have our door yet, Bob, but imagine there's a doorway here, and there you go. Bob's going to put his hands up against the door and lean forward.
Into it like this.
And you could just see, look at his clothing on his shirt stretch, and that's exactly what happens to your muscles.
And you can do it at different levels. You can put the hands down like this and lean forward. You can put the hands up like this and lean forward.
Right.
And all these work, just a little bit on a little bit different fibers. You can tell if your shoulders are tight, by the way, is when you stand. If you stand relaxed, your thumb should point forward. If they're not, if they're pointed like this toward each other, that means your shoulders are starting to round. That means the chest is tight. That means you need to stretch it out.
Another way, if you have a corner like this, you can just go into the corner and stretch like this. Oh gosh, that does feel good, Bob. I like that. For me, up here works good. If you're real tight, might be here or down in here. You can actually start down there if you needed to.
But nobody puts Brad in the corner.
Right, that's right. I didn't think him on.
Okay.
Strong like bull.
Another way to do it is just to grab your hands like this, Brad, and you can pull back like this. It's just a different stretch.
Right. You don't need a door. You don't need a corner.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm kind of tight. I can't reach very well, so I would just take a towel and go like this, and that really solves that problem.
And then you had the foam roller, Brad?
Yeah, the foam roller. We love the foam roller. Okay. They're getting more popular all the time. People are starting to realize the benefits of the foam roller. And you could start this way just to get that thoracic spine kind of mobilized a little bit. You'll hear some cracking, and it usually feels quite good. And then just use gravity. That's what I like about this one, Bob. It's not so much work, and it really helps keep everything in line. And
see, this is actually working on his neck posture a little bit too, and bringing it back.
Good. This is a 2-for-1.
Yep.
Good deal.
And it's easy to do. You can just lay on it. So the foam roller by OPTP.
Yeah.
OPTP.
We got to get a sign for that.
These are nice ones.
Yeah.
It's a nice soft one.
Now, the next thing is we got neck, we got shoulders, also the hip. This is where a lot of people forget about posture. And as therapists, we don't, because that's what we do. If the hip muscles are tight from a lot of sitting over the years, that can pull you forward, and then you end up more like this. So we need to stretch the neck, the shoulders, and the hips.
Yep. And it's very common for those to be tight because, again, we're a sitting society.
Right, exactly. So hopefully you got a firm bed at home. Sit on the edge of the bed. Don't fall off. You know, just enough so you can get one hip over. I'm going to take this knee. I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to let this leg drop over and down. Now you can see my knee. Does it drop below my hip?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So that's more than normal. If you do this, and your leg stops above neutral.
Or even right here, it's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can actually, even if you go like this a little bit more, and it comes up, you can tell it's tight too.
Sure, yep, it gets a different muscle involved.
Yeah, it gets a different muscle involved, yeah.
But this can be, you can use this as a stretch, okay, and assess one leg, and then of course you're gonna do the other. If I did mine and this one was tight, it could be that one hip is tighter than the other.
That's a good way to determine whether or not you are tighter on one side or not.
The other way you can stretch that is, well, I'll do it right up here. You're not going to do it on your bed. You're going to go down on the floor with a pillow under your knee. And you're going to hold on to something for balance if you need it. And, you know, the bed would be great because you could be right by the bed. And then you get up tall, shoulders back. You can do your chin tucks. You can get all three at once with this. And this is a hip flexor. We're working the shoulders. And we're always thinking about posture, okay? And make sure you do both sides on that. Exactly. Wow. So after 2 weeks of doing these techniques, and you should do them a couple times a day. get after this like you're doing a diet.
So that was step number 4. Step number 5, Brad, is the strengthening.
Right. Once
Okay.
you want to get the muscles to hold you there.
And this is critical because you can stretch it out, but it's going to be very difficult for you to keep them in place unless you do some strengthening.
Exactly.
So
We got to get here. Let's get Leopold out of the way. Hope that doesn't bother on that. We're just throwing them around like a skeleton.
This is where bands really are needed.
Right.
It's very difficult to do these. And if you have some tubing with handles and you can attach it to the wall, this is just a quick thing you can do.
Exactly. So we're gonna. There's different ways you can do this. Coming back with your hands down below your hip and thinking about this will get your lower traps. And I would suggest doing it here and do 10 to 15 reps and look at my shoulder blades. I'm really going back.
Yep, they're all
chin tuck is in.
They're all coming together and it's strengthening those muscles, the rhomboids.
And I'm
trapezius.
going forward, so it's going to stretch the hips, strengthen the low back.
Sure.
This is really covers everything at once. Okay, and then I can do it here like this. Same thing, but just arms in different position. And I know, Bob, you like to do this one.
Right.
I haven't, but actually I think it's a good idea because it works the rotator cuff a little bit too.
That's exactly right.
Yep. So we're going to do 10 to 15 of those, and depending on how tired you get, you could do 15 in each position, and then repeat it for another set.
And you can even go up here.
Oh, sure.
You can go,
Up like this. Yeah, get those external rotators.
Yep.
And that's going to depend on your shoulders. If
Right,
it
what if
creates
you can tolerate
pain,
that.
it may not be the good idea. So do that, and then come back up to the wall 2 weeks
You're
later.
gonna measure and see where you're at.
Yep, and see how your numbers improve. It very well could be that if you couldn't touch before, you need a measurement because you're touching up and down, So the 5-step system.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Oh, that's a dance.
Yeah.
I thought it was a movie or something. At first it clicked a little slow.
All
All
right.
right, very good.
Thanks for watching, folks.